All right, another day in paradise. We have not done a live show in a minute,
How about that?
but we'll
I
do
hope
one
it's
today.
working.
Yeah, that'd be
Hello,
great.
people.
That would be great. I'm not even going to mess with YouTube right now. I'm just going to do it this way, and I'm going to trust that it's actually on YouTube.
Okay.
Which, well, that might be a it might be a risk. But I just want to say hello to all of our friends out there in the internet land. We have had a huge surge in the number of subscribers that we have on our YouTube channel, largely because of a nice push inside the auburnsports.com community, headlined by my guy Vance Me, and then, of course, the 800 people that answered the call and subscribed. So thank you very much for that. What do you think about that, B-Man? I know you're pretty fired up, aren't you?
I think that's beautiful, man.
I am wearing a Boca Juniors jersey today. It's almost time for football season, soccer season for us up here in the North America, and Mr. B-Matt is wearing his Liverpool shirt. I am kind of contractually obligated to not like Liverpool, and he, for my team, United as well. But I have to be real about the situation as it stands right now, and it's that Liverpool is a whole lot better than my team. So,
Plus, we didn't grow up in Liverpool or Manchester, so we don't really have like that real hate like Auburn, Alabama fans would have.
yeah, but you're still a Scouser, right? I mean,
Sure, I am. If they let me be one, yeah, I'll be one.
yeah, you're still a Scouser.
I don't know how to talk like one though.
You're talking one like one right now. I didn't have a long thing today because I think we know exactly what we're going to be talking about. I think we got to lead with the logo, which I don't have a copy of it yet. But everybody knows what we're looking at there. I told everybody about it like 3 weeks ago, and then I went on Cole Kubelik's show on Monday, I think it was, or Tuesday. I don't remember what day it was. Talked about it, about what was going to be happening. And they were incredulous, and I had forgotten how pissed off everybody gets about it. I mean, I mean, it's the logo. I get it. I think Auburn has a classic, iconic logo, but it's a kind of a minor change, right, B-Man?
No.
I had a feeling you'd
No,
be fired
it's
up
not
about it.
minor. It looks like total trash.
All right, here we go.
And the person who's responsible for it should be dragged out to the 50-yard line before the first game against Tulane and soundly booed. And then they should be locked in the Sanford Tower, chained up, and put there for a year to think about this terrible idea they come up with. That's what I think about that.
You've already driven me to drinking, my man.
Straight trash, JG. How do you mess up perfection? That's how you do it.
I'll take a shot of vodka for that.
Woo.
I wish you hadn't gotten so fired up. So we'll talk about the logo, Brian, and you'll give us your very soft opinions on that. We can also talk about the scrimmage. Bo Nix got picked off twice, although one we were told wasn't his fault.
I mean, I think you can make an argument that the other one wasn't his fault either.
Why?
Because the receiver lost. I mean, I guess sort of, but from what I was told, the receiver didn't fight for the ball as well as he could have.
No, they had it on. They had it on Instagram yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen that. Are you sure that was from the scrimmage or was that from something else?
Yeah, that was Smoke. It was Smoke making a really nice interception, and
Okay.
the ball was overthrown. But I mean, maybe the receiver ran the wrong route. I couldn't tell. It was a very short clip, but the ball looked like it was overthrown. The defense dominated, obviously, and you wrote a story about this, but Nick Coe said he's ready to play inside or is prepared to do so.
He's playing inside.
There's no doubt. I mean, yeah.
If you just look at the numbers, I mean, I was talking with our buddy Jason Caldwell yesterday, and he asked me who is Derek Brown's backup right now.
Yeah. And you're like,
who is it?
Truesdell?
Exactly.
Connus? I don't know.
Connus, who's hurt, or DeQuan, who's hurt. I mean, Tyrone Truesdell, if he's not the starter, I guess he's the backup to one of those positions, but still.
He's got to be.
You got to have at least 4 or 5 tackles, right?
Yeah, I said in the beginning of this, back in July, that was like Tyrone Truesdell can't play more than 20 snaps. I mean, it's just no.
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to disagree with you, respectfully disagree with you.
You think he's going to be good?
I think I think he'll be good
this year.
Yes. Junior season, paid the price. He's worked under Rodney for a couple of years now. I think he's ready to be a good
John
player.
Tavius paid the price too. And where's he doing? He's a UAB.
But we knew John Tavius was never playing.
I didn't know that.
I did.
Who else is never playing, B-Matt? You want to go ahead and speak it now?
No, I don't like to mean
dang
the
it. Well, that's pretty much all I've got on here. I also thought
this right here.
we could mention Brad Law if you want to. I mean, I feel pretty pretty good about that one.
I'm really surprised by that.
Well, it's less surprising if you think it's going to be like a 1 year thing.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, okay.
You can't name somebody the voice of the Auburn Tigers and then just say a year later we're changing our mind.
Well, you can if you go into it with that, right? And you say, hey, look.
I don't know.
We want to respect Rod's
just
legacy.
Another bad idea, in my opinion. No offense. I love the guys at the Auburn Network. Maybe there's a reason for it. I don't, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
The person I was texting about it who would absolutely know what's up with that, he didn't tell me no when I said, because I got an intel that it was going to be Brad Law, and then I texted it and said, am I wrong to think it'll be Brad? And this is somebody who would answer me within 5 minutes every single time, and I got no answer, which means he didn't feel like he could answer that.
Okay.
Possibly because everybody's getting their texts looked at,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody that gets their texts looked at. That's a sorry way to run a place, but that's just my opinion.
That's just how it works at Auburn, right?
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know if AG's really into that as much now. The previous AD was a little.
I guess just knowing
like
that they can look at your text or whatever is enough, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Did we talk about AG the other day? I can't remember if we did or not. Just about his general.
No, I don't know. I think we may have talked about it when we were just us talking. But
institutional health or whatever. General how he's doing as an AD. We could talk about that too if we have time. Because
here's my thing. I think he's probably doing things that he thinks is best for Auburn as far as the cutbacks and such. But he needs to explain why he's doing this. Just come out and say we're doing this because.
He doesn't like doing that. I need to sit down and talk to him about this.
He creates distress by not doing that.
Yeah, I know.
He gets people upset for no reason by not doing that. If he just come out and be forefront and not have to run everything through, here I go again, through PR people and lawyers
Here we go.
who are the absolute worst, and just speak to people like a normal person, which I know he's more than capable of doing. I know he absolutely is. If he would just do that and explain what's going on, it would be so much better.
Do you know that for a fact?
I do, absolutely. 100%, yes.
Lawyers are bad?
No. I mean, when they try to filter press releases, that's how you communicate with people. That's not how Auburn people want to be communicated with, through press releases, filtered through PR and lawyers.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Gotcha. All right. Let's go ahead and get the show started. What do you think about that, B-Matt?
Wait, we haven't started the show yet? You mean I had all these hot takes and we haven't started the show? Are you kidding me, JG?
That's why I was trying to hold you back, bro.
I don't know if I got it for the show now. I'm pretty much spent.
Oh, dude. I can guarantee I'll get you going.
I'm done. I'm out.
I'll get you going for the show.
Oh, yeah.
That's a wrap. Hi-yo! Hello again, and welcome to the AuburnSports.com rundown presented by Voodoo Wing Company. This right here, this very show is your favorite podcast for all things Auburn. Today is August 9th in the year of 2019. I'm going to get back to that date, by the way. This is episode number 394, and we are currently 21 days away from Auburn's encounter with the hated and stinky Ducks of the University of Oregon that will be contested in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex 21 days from now.
22 days, bro.
How long?
22.
22 days from now, like I said.
Friday.
Well, it's just a question.
We're close enough. It's the internet. You just got to get close.
It's an approximation.
Yeah.
I do want to mention that today, since it's August 9th, that means that it's my anniversary. My wife and I have now been married. We got married in 97, so you do the calculation on that. It's 22 years, right?
Woo! Yes, congratulations.
It's big. It's the big one. You feel like if you get past 22, you've got a shot to make it last.
I'm not make it.
My name is Jay Tate. I am publisher of AuburnSports.com, and I'm joined as always by Mr. Brian Matthews, capital B, capital M, our ace team reporter, and a man who everyone from Auburn all the way to Opelika knows is a many things. What up, B-Matt?
Well, I was going to open with me talking about how I'm excited to talk about the Premier League for the next 35 or 40 minutes, but you already blew that one. I thought we'd already started the show like 15 minutes ago.
I didn't ever start off saying, hey, yo, and all that.
That's right. I got ahead of myself. But yes, I am excited to talk about Liverpool's opening game against Norwich City today.
No, we're not going to talk about that today. That's going to be on your soccer podcast, bro.
We should start a soccer podcast.
We are doing this show live on the internet as well. For those of you who are on the internet, thank you for being part of what we're doing here. For everybody else, we're taping it for you to play back in your office or in your car or at home or whatever you want to do. Maybe when you're jogging outside. That we have some video chyrons up. Mine says JG Tate, why you do this logo. Brian says he's ready for football, parentheses, soccer season, as he just mentioned. He's excited. He's a Liverpool fan. He has been a Liverpool fan since before they were good. They were really crappy when I first realized you were a Liverpool fan. But you've kind of ridden them up here to almost the top. You couldn't beat City last year, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. I couldn't either. My team couldn't
Champions
either.
of Europe, JG. Champions of Europe.
Not champions of England, though. It happens.
Champions of Europe. That Europe is included. I mean, England is included in Europe.
If you say
source.
So. Allegedly. Anyway, I want to mention before we get started that this show and all of our shows are presented by Voodoo Wing Company. It's a great place to eat. And the reason
Biscuit says hey, by the way.
Hey, Biscuit. How you doing there, buddy? It's a great place to eat. And the reason it's a great place to eat is for a few reasons. First of all, the food's delicious. Second of all, it's a very clean establishment. Third of all, the expertise of everybody working there. Like when you go there and you're ordering up that delicious chicken, like they don't stare at you blankly and don't know what they're talking about. If you throw them a little curveball, maybe change your order in the middle, they don't freak out. They have complete command of what they're doing there because they're trained well. It's a very efficient and effective establishment. And what really matters is your taste buds are going to be tickled because that food is absolutely delicious. Brian
tickled.
Matthews
like
loves
that.
it there. Brian, don't you love going to Voodoo?
I love a good tickle, JG. I don't know what we're talking about voodoo. I love their Nana pudding, JG. I don't know if you've heard that before.
Let's get Yvonne on the horn and see what she thinks about this tickling situation.
Mm.
Anyway, Voodoo Wing Company, they have a lot of sauces they make themselves there, including that blackened Cajun ranch that I enjoy. B-Matt likes the Voodoo. Again, an in-home one they make themselves. You can't get anywhere else. You can also get their Sidewinder fries, which I've never seen anywhere else. The slaw, the fried pickles, the potato salad, and, of course, B-Matt's favorite, the nanner pudding to finish it off. B-Matt surely does love some nanner pudding. I like the key lime pie that they have available. I don't think it's on the menu, but you can ask for it, and they almost always have it.
I love secret menu items.
Don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You had a secret menu item, I think, earlier in the summer. I think I can mention this without anybody getting angry, but they were experimenting with voodoo rolls. Remember this?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So what it was like pulled chicken put like in a flour roll. It was kind of like a long, delicious egg roll.
It's pretty good.
With pulled buffalo chicken inside of it. And, yeah, it was pretty good, as Gus would say.
Kind of liked it.
I wonder if Gus would like voodoo. The reason I think he would like Voodoo is it's a straightforward place to go eat. I mean, they're there to serve you chicken. You go there, you get chicken, they serve you chicken. Straightforward. I think Gus would like that.
I can guarantee you Gus would like Voodoo.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't think Gus is the type that's into the fancy food. I think he likes just good old, home style cooking.
Let me have 9 wings.
Yep.
I don't know if I've talked about this on the show, but he has said that if he's out on the road recruiting and he's got to get fast food in a pinch, his choice is chili dogs at Crystal. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if it says a lot about a man that he would want to eat that.
I've never had a chili dog from Crystal's.
I haven't either, and I don't want to. That's not a place I would go for that, right? Why don't you just eat a few Crystals minus the mustard and just be glad you made it another day?
Maybe he's uncovered a hidden gem that we just don't know about.
I tell you what, why don't you go try them today and let me know how you think about them, what you think about them.
Probably not going to happen.
But I wouldn't go there. You know why? Because I'd be at Voodoo if I was in Auburn. Now, if I'm here in Montgomery and I'm stuck, there's no Voodoo here. So I have no choice. But if I'm in Auburn, I know you know where I'm going to be. It ain't going to be Crystal. It's going to be Voodoo Wing Company. There are rumors going
if I want a chili dog around here, I go to Mrs. Stories, which is down Opelika Road.
Yeah, but
they've got good hot dogs.
I'm here for the chicken, Brian.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
Remember that Voodoo's got our back on this show, so let's.
I know, but I like to eat local too, so I'm gonna give a little shout out to Mrs. Stories, Opelika Road. Okay. Delicious ice cream and chili dogs.
That's great, Jan Michael. I want to let you guys know that we are supporting you guys, and thank you for your support. 4th year we've been with Voodoo Wing Company, so
I deserve free chili dogs now. By the way, I'm just saying.
Check them out on the website voodoowingco.com. You can also get to them in person, 0.3 of a mile north of the interstate. On College Street in Auburn, just north of the Supper Club where Jeffrey Lee was once thrown into a garbage can, and he damn well deserved it. I'm sure of it.
They should put a statue of a garbage can with Jeffrey Lee's legs sticking out to memorialize the spot.
Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should.
I wonder if Miss Doty would.
Hey, all we need is a garbage can and a mannequin. I mean, who doesn't have that lying around their house?
Yeah. I've got a mannequin, but I don't really want to know. I don't want to explain to you why I have it. Let's start off some content here by talking about the revised logo. We had I mentioned it on the bunker back in July, I believe it was, that this was coming. I said they were changing their font, and they were also making some minor adjustments to the logo. Those minor adjustments were discovered yesterday. At least one of the final mock-ups were. And the logo looks a little fatter, I guess. It looks a little squished, I think. And then the A seems to be kind of elongated a little bit. Here, you can see my hands on the video. And then the if you look at the regular AU logo, there's like little diamonds in the corners where the U where the A goes over the U, and there's a little bit of space left. And apparently Stephen Leith, the former Auburn president, didn't like that. He thought those triangles were distracting. And so they adjusted the U to kind of make those triangles disappear. And the result is kind of a fatter AU logo. And Brian loves it. So, yeah, Brian, just talk about how much you love it.
I absolutely 100% hate it. I think it's straight trash. Now that I know Stephen Leaf is responsible for this, I think we should drag him out to the 50-yard line, soundly boo him, and then chain him up in the Sanford Tower for a year to pay his penance for this horrible thing he has brought down on the University of Auburn.
It's really not that big a deal, Brian.
And I called it the University of Auburn because that's what it is if you put out that terrible logo.
Forever, right?
Right. I just don't like it.
The university is trying to accentuate the Auburn part of Auburn University and de-accentuate the university part. And I know this now because my daughter's been getting a lot of promotional stuff from Auburn. Because she's doing very well in school. She has a high test score, and we live near Auburn. And it has this huge, it has the Auburn logo. It's the old one. And then it has this huge Auburn, and then it says University, like right under it. And I think it looks weird, but
I don't necessarily have a problem with that. But I don't think you mess up with the AU that's been on the helmets for so long now. It's just iconic, and it should not be touched at all. And really, if you're going to talk about changing something that has been part of Auburn for so long, it needs to be discussed and talked about and gone over for a long time before you just drop this in people's laps.
Well, they've been working on it.
Well,
a couple things I want to say, though, to those of you who are new to this fight. Athletics was not in favor of this. Athletics made it known that they wanted the logo to stay exactly as it's been this whole time. And this was a university decision. This was something that, again, started by Leith, commissioned by Leith. A lot of people over there on that side of the operation kind of got on board with it, though, hence the fact that he's gone and this effort is still going on. But this is not an athletics thing. Athletics didn't pay a penny to try to get this thing changed. They said, we don't want it changed. It's not something that Alan Green wanted to do, but people above him, I mean, he's got bosses too. And they thought this was going to be a good idea. So,
yeah, that just tells me everything I need to know about Leaf, although I already knew it anyway. But the fact that he would just come to this university and just within a year want to change one of the most iconic symbols of this university tells me a lot what kind of person he is.
What kind of person?
It should absolutely not be done.
What kind of person is he, B-Man?
A narcissist and some other bad words behind it.
Wow. You must know him pretty well, bro.
I don't have to know him well.
Dang. So the logo will not be going on helmets this year. Let me rephrase. The real Auburn logo will be going on the helmets. This new revised logo will not be going on helmets this year. And I wonder a little bit if this is going to end up being like New Coke. If you guys, a lot of you young people don't remember this, but in '84, Coke changed their formula, and people went crazy. And then they turned it into like a whole new revenue stream because they said, okay, I'll tell you what, you can have the new Coke and we'll bring back the old Coke too. And I guess it helped them. You think that's what they're doing here, B-Matt? That they're like trying to get people flustered to then go back to the old logo?
No, that's not what Coke did either. They just screwed up, and it ended up working in their favor because Classic Coke just took off and sales went out the roof.
How do you know?
They
You were
gained
like
more
12.
market share afterwards.
You were 12. How did you know?
I remember it.
I know you remember, but I think it was just a cunning marketing strategy. I can't believe that you'd be so skeptical as to think it was a mistake.
No, in fact, I listened to this podcast called Business World Wars, which did like a whole series on Coke and Pepsi and this and new Coke thing. So
wait a minute, you listened to another podcast?
Only when this one's not available.
This one is available all the time because you're on it all the time.
Well, I mean, I only want to listen to it once, and then I want to listen to something different. Like I listen to Liverpool podcasts too, JG.
No, I don't.
Well,
I
you
listen
should.
to reruns of the rundown all the time.
Well, I'm sorry, but your life needs more in it than just the rundown.
Well,
Just a little bit more.
As I've been married 22 years today, Brian. Okay, there's more to my life than just this show, but I do care.
What are y'all
about the
doing
show.
tonight? By the way, you got big plans?
Yeah, we're gonna go out to eat. I think. She just texted me and says she wants to talk. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
Well, I don't mean it's not. She's not mad at me. I know that because we already.
Maybe she's watching this right now.
She was at the. We had an incident in Montgomery yesterday at Blount Elementary School where there was basically a road rage incident.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I just saw a headline. I didn't know what happened.
A parent upset over a parking space, pulled a gun,
the first day of
discharged a
school.
weapon. Well, it's like the third day of school, but nonetheless.
First day here.
Pulled a weapon, fired the weapon. This is on school grounds at an elementary school. And fortunately, the situation was quelled, but Courtney was there. She
was there?
Well, yeah. I mean, she was at Blount because she runs a child care center, and she was the parents bring the kids in at like 6:30 or 7 a.m., and then they take a school bus over to Blount and drop them off for school. And
wow,
she was there. And it was not fun. She's a pretty tough girl, but yeah, she was pretty shook up over that.
I hope that guy gets extra time for doing that on school property. That's just insane.
Here's the thing about that. Yeah, you can't be doing that. You just can't be doing that. But his wife just died like a month ago, and he's obviously got a kid because he's at school dropping a kid off. So now that kid has nobody at home, right?
How can you be so...
I know, man. I know. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not going to forgive him. I'm just saying it's tough for the kid, too, now.
How did the wife die?
I don't. She had a heart attack. Why are we getting?
Yeah.
We're getting into the weeds.
This sounds like a Dateline needs to check into this.
Welcome to the Today in Montgomery podcast. Let's talk about the. We talked about the logo, Brian. You love it. I don't really see the big deal. I have a lot of shout outs involving this because there was some high quality bunkering going on last night regarding the logo.
Okay, I got a bunch of shout outs not involving the logo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. We'll get to those. There was a scrimmage yesterday. The football team was competing on the turf at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And, well, some things happened, Brian. Tell me what you thought were the 2 or 3 biggest things that you took away from that.
Well, the defense did dominate, and I think I was trying to just wrap my mind to think back, has there ever been a scrimmage, the first scrimmage where the offense has been good and then the team has gone on to be good?
No.
And I just couldn't think of one.
Nope.
So this is exactly what you want.
If that happens, that's bad news, right?
Right, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe I missed something, but that's the way it needs to be. And I think it's great that the Orange defense is doing exactly what it needs to do, because when you're breaking in a new quarterback, when you're, sort of breaking in a new offense with Gus sort of taking over, you need the defense to be, hitting fifth gear from the start.
Yeah.
And if they can do that against Oregon, that's going to give Auburn a shot.
Yeah, I mean, they got a good defense. We know that. And that defense, after having repped against this offense all spring, they know the offense pretty well. So you would think they'd have the upper hand in this one.
Plus, it's all base, so the offense is not doing any trickeration. Yeah. So that takes away a little bit of what they can do. It's just lining up man on man and seeing who can win.
And the quarterback can't run either.
Right.
Which really handicaps Joey Gatewood, because I think a lot of his value is concentrated in the fact that he can run the football.
Definitely.
But Gus gets real flustered when you push that agenda, or when I push that agenda, and he says, Bo's a pretty good runner too. But I think he really means it. Bo is a better runner than Jarrett Stidham, because they still are telling the story about how Jarrett Stidham can run, and I don't believe it.
Yeah. Bo is a quarterback that run. Joey Gatewood is a running quarterback. That's two different quarterbacks. And you need to have two different offenses to take advantage of their skills. Just my opinion. And I think if you don't do that, you're making a mistake. Not completely different, but you need to have some differences.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so as far as it's tough sometimes in the scrimmage to understand exactly what happened on the field, because everybody, Gus doesn't really want you to know. The players are kind of focused on their jobs, and so sometimes they don't get the facts quite right, even though they're trying to be honest about it. We know that Bo Nix was intercepted twice. We know that one play was a tip, like it probably should have been completed. The receiver lost control of the ball and it was picked. The second one, Gus described as a great play by Smoke Monday. They released a clip of the play on Instagram. I think Auburn did yesterday, and it looked to me like it was more of an overthrow, but maybe the receiver ran the wrong route. I don't know. Anyway, that was probably a little bit alarming to Gus, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. So the quarterback competition continues on. I do want to mention to our subscribers out there at auburnsports.com that BMAT was trying to get a few glances. Years ago when Tuberville would let us go to scrimmages, we would be waiting for scrimmage to end. We could kind of sit under the stands and watch it a little bit, right? And then,
years ago we could just go watch the whole thing and they give us stats.
Well, yeah, that's right. That was like 15 years ago. But even during like the Chiswick era, late Tuberville, we could kind of watch under the stands. Wink, wink, don't say anything. But you were trying to do that yesterday, I think, and you kind of got Gestapo'd, didn't you?
Well, actually, I was just standing outside the door.
Yeah, but you
couldn't necessarily see much out on the field. This is underneath where who comes out of there? The cheerleaders in the band, maybe sometimes. But
yeah.
The tunnel. And Kirk said, everybody's got to be inside now. We can't be outside the door area.
I don't.
So
next time I catch Gus, we're going to talk about that a little bit. Like, come on, man. Really? You're worried about Brian? Like, what are we doing here?
It wasn't necessarily pointing at me. I think it was just for everybody. But the thing about it is, can you name one thing that they did in that scrimmage today that we would report on that would somehow keep, hurt their chances of beating Oregon?
No, unlikely.
That's the whole idea of keeping a scrimmage, keeping us out of scrimmage. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, he just wants to maintain every possible advantage, Brian.
And then to go back to spring, I mean, come on, Lord have mercy. You can't go see a spring scrimmage? What are they doing in spring scrimmage?
I understand completely. You also wrote a story. I asked questions about Nick Coe and what his role is going to be this year. When you start looking at the depth chart along the defensive line, every time I go on a radio show, and I'm sure it's the same for you, everybody's like, man, they have so many All-Americans on the defensive front. And it's like, yeah, they have some really good players, but they're missing some bodies at a very important spot. So across from Derek Brown, they need at least two good three-technique tackles. And it's becoming evident that Nick Coe is going to be that guy, Brian.
He has to be, just numbers-wise. I mean, right now you got Daquan Newkirk out until probably November. You got Conness missing most of fall camp with his shoulder. Maybe returning here in the next week or two, but still missing most of it. And other than that, you've got Derek Brown and Tyrone Truesdale and some freshmen that are probably sizes, not big enough yet to play inside. So, and a walk-on Gary Walker is a pretty tough kid, but again, that's not who you want to be a top backup. So Nick Coe's going to have to play there a lot. Tyrone Truesdale is going to have to step up and either be a starter half the time or be a key backup, and then hope when Conness gets back, he can really step in and help out, in certain situations.
Emphasis on key backup for Tyrone, by the way. Now, Brian and I, for those of you listening, Brian and I have a little bit of a difference of opinion on Tyrone Truesdale. I think he's a 15-snap guy, and Brian thinks he's got a higher ceiling than that for this season, and we're going to find out, I guess. But I asked Nick Coe directly, are you prepared? Are you expecting to play at least 50% of your snaps at three technique? And his answer was yeah. So
I think it'll be more. And, we talked to Rodney, I guess it was about a week or two ago, probably 2 weeks ago. And he talked about how they're going to use Nick Coe at D-tackle. And he said, as long as we're not playing against the teams that, run the I think he called it 21 personnel. Does that sound right to you, JJ?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The big tight ends, the power running teams.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes sense. And then I started thinking, well, what teams will Auburn play that run those formations?
Well, LSU, Alabama.
But they're going RPO spread, though.
Oh, they are this year. Okay.
I mean, they may revert back, right? I mean, we'll see. But maybe Texas A&M, right?
They do some, but not as much, no? Arkansas does a little bit of that. They will try to do it to mess with Gus. But who cares about Arkansas? Nobody's scared of them. That's pretty much what we got from the scrimmage right there. There was some speculation that Seth Williams got hurt during the scrimmage, which is basically impossible because he didn't participate in the scrimmage.
Not that we know of. I was told he was held out, and it's just minor stuff, if anything.
So he may have an injury or a knock, as they say in English football, but it happened before the scrimmage. So that's the situation. We don't think it's anything serious at this point. Wee Willie Hastings was held out. Not really sure what's going on with him. I mentioned on the show a couple days ago that he was working out by himself in the indoor after going full speed in the first practice. So maybe it's just because they're going full speed, full contact now versus T-shirts and shorts back in the beginning. But anyway, Wee Willie was working on that. and Eli Stowe's picked up a knock. But I think he's going to be fine. Actually, Gus said he thought he was going to be ready to go here pretty soon. So yeah, that's the thing. DJ Williams did not participate yesterday either. True freshman tailback that was added very late in the recruiting process last year, but enrolled early and was there during the spring. And we thought that he had a chance to be somebody that could really make a difference this year. But he's going to get a slow start because he's still not able to go quite yet. I mean, look, it's Booby and Cam's show, and then you got to get Worm in there somehow. So I mean, it was getting crowded, but I thought he showed some stuff during the spring.
And Harold Joyner, I think, had a good scrimmage. So he's one that's definitely getting a lot of opportunities this fall to step up. And, we'll see how he fits into the offense once the season gets going. And I think Sean Shivers may be a guy that has maybe a bigger part in this offense than people are sort of expecting right now.
You're particularly with Anthony Schwartz out. I mean, I think he could be your speed sweep guy if they're going to run. If they're going to run the quarterback.
Him or Eli.
Let's see. Anything else we need to discuss today? That was pretty much it for today. I was going to talk a little bit about Brad Law, who's being discussed as the new play-by-play guy. Brad Law, many of you who've been listening to the show for years know him as mainly a studio host, but he's also a producer. The big chat right now is that he's going to be the guy, at least for 1 year. But they have not confirmed anything officially yet, so that's just chatter at this point. And maybe next time when we have a little bit more time, I want to talk about Alan Green a little bit and just kind of the job he's doing right now at Auburn. You know, I'm a big fan of his. I think that he's the right guy for Auburn, but I think you can make a case that he's kind of going about it wrong because I think a lot of people don't even know who he is yet, and that's weird because I feel like he's a guy that's trying to lead quietly and out of the spotlight, and I think from his perspective, he's trying to feature the real performers at Auburn, so to speak, and he's trying to empower folks to do their own job instead of him being in front all the time and being like, big vision. But I think at some point, it's almost like you're not there, even though you are. Does that make sense, B-Matt?
It does, and I just think Auburn right now needs direct communication from the AD to the people.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about the football program, facilities, the cutbacks. I think he would better serve the Auburn community, the alumni and the fans by speaking directly to them and sort of explaining what's going on instead of trying to filter everything through PR people and through lawyers and such.
We know you love PR people and lawyers, Brian. You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right, let's move on to some shout-outs. We got a lot because there's been a lot of good bunkering here in the last couple of days. B-Matt, what do you got?
All right, Mike, CB22.
Oh, yeah.
He's had a few shout-outs back in the day. Start a thread on everyone's irrational fears. So this one sort of struck home because my wife has this fear also. AUHDL says he cracks his windows open when going over a bridge. So when I eventually go careening over the side into the water, I won't have to wait as long for the pressure to equalize and be able to open my door. So he's prepared when he's driving over the bridge.
Definitely.
Harvey Specter thinks that every person on the side of the road as he drives by them is going to jump out in front of me at the last second. That's kind of strange. Could you imagine that?
That'd be weird, but he's a weird dude.
BP Brockman says one of his fears is ending up homeless and having to do anything for $20. He says, I am not gay, but $20 is $20. Okay. BP Brockman also mentioned choking as one of his fears, and Liver Pearl replied, my wife choked at the dinner table in a restaurant with my in-laws one time, and my brother-in-law actually started yelling for her to go choke elsewhere because she was embarrassing him.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Oh boy,
that's not right.
In some ways, that kind of sounds like what my kids would have done when they were younger. Not for a choking thing, but go somewhere else. You're embarrassing me,
please.
Right? But come on, man, your sister's choking. Come on.
Heimlich maneuver.
Jerry says he's got 3 of them. Jerry does Gerry. He says number 1, drowning. Okay. Number 2, being burned alive, and then number 3, my sock color mismatch with my trousers.
Yeah, they all seem about the same thing.
Yeah, pretty even, yeah. And, of course, it wouldn't be the bunker if AU ESQ doesn't chime in with saying his biggest rational fear is Gus returning in 220.
Here we go. You knew that was coming.
It's happening, AU Esquire.
Whoa.
Or AU ESQ.
You know something?
If I could put up that it's happening GIF, I would do it right now.
GIF, yeah.
Yep.
You
Good.
think he's going to be back next year for sure?
I do.
Because you think he's going to win enough games.
And 26, 28, 29, whatever it is still a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. All right, is that what you got there, B-Matt?
That's what I got.
All right, I got a few more. Gus lied to me. A new member starts a thread, new bunker pledge. I finally gave in and decided to see what the famed bunker is all about. War Damn Eagle. Lewis jumps in and says, worst post ever. Illiterate people everywhere. Harvey Specter says it's posters like me and Ayler that have to pick up your slack. And AUZAD says KYS. So that was a perfect bunker thread right there, going exactly the way that you thought it would go. Alabama Hammer, one of my favorite posters, chimed in last night, obviously fired up by the logo situation.
Is this the real Alabama Hammer or just a pretender?
No, this is the real Alabama Hammer.
Okay.
I mean, he's tweeted about this. I thought we got rid of the stupid when we fired Leith. What's the brain? What's the brain trust got in mind next? Replacing the oaks at Tumors with some maple trees. Keeping it all in perspective. I like that, Alabama Hammer. T-Town Tiger started a thread. I like the new logo. To hell with the olds. To which Alabama Hammer said, I bet you like fat chicks too. I just thought that was funny. I don't know. It was just such an automatic response. I love it. Ayler starts a thread. Whichever side of the Gus Wars you guys are on, I really desperately want to beat Oregon, even if it's just luck. We can cross the coaching bridge on another day. For the first time in several weeks or months, Gus's ability to coach was not in question yesterday, at least not actively on the bunker. And then Ayler's got to come along and get it started again. Stanley McRusser, his first response, a Pelican's beak can hold more than its stomach can. Cameron Cade says the inventor of the Frisbee was turned into a Frisbee after he died. S-Town Enthusiast says, I have pooped, peed, and thrown up at the same time before. This is all in the thread that Ayler started. And I thought this was a very touching moment. Scott Farkas said, did it hurt? He was concerned that S-Town Enthusiast might have hurt himself when he pooped, peed, and threw up at the same time.
That seems
very caring.
Yeah.
My granddad, he didn't poop, but he has sneezed, farted, and burped at the same time, and it's just kind of like this. Like he just kind of shakes. It's very strange.
I'd have to go check myself if I did that, you know?
Well,
just a full body checkup.
He did check himself.
Make sure everything was okay.
He died like a couple years later.
Oh.
Chip also added that the peanut is not a nut, it is a legume. I don't know if that's true, but according to Chip, it is. I had a thread last night about the logo, just kind of explaining that I didn't think it was going to be on the helmet this year, and also that athletics had nothing to do with it. Lewis says it's very unflattering when applied to apparel. Our fan base will soon look like the inbreds. Virgil Kane says people aren't going to stop brushing their teeth and grow mullets because of a logo change. Auburn 96 had probably the best comment of the whole day. He said the new logo looks like it's mad. I'm guessing someone told it about Malzahn's buyout. That is brilliant. That's some good bunkering last night. Alabama Hammer's the best though. I think he is uproariously funny when he gets on there. And the one time that he just dropped his nuts right on AU 56's head on the Twitters when he was getting onto his private jet, that may have been the finest moment of bunkering that I've ever seen.
I met AU 56. He's a nice dude.
Yeah, if you say so.
He is. He's a great dude.
He's all right.
Yeah.
He's a big fan. He's a big fan of Auburn, and he's a fan of you. So it's good to know. I also want to give a shout out, of course, to our friends at Voodoo Wing Company for their support of what we do here at auburnsports.com 4 years now. And we love going over there. We're going to start doing the shows over there soon on Tuesdays. If you guys want to come hang out, we'll be sure and give you guys plenty of notice. Some of you may not want to hang out with us because we, I don't know, maybe we're too handsome. Maybe my cross eyes bother you. It's like a visual effect. It makes some people go into convulsions. But sometimes girls like it. Also, our friends at Lynch Toyota of Auburn. If you're looking for a new or used Toyota, that is definitely the spot to go. Paul Brockwell, as I have mentioned many times, the greatest GM in this entire galaxy. Those guys they're trained up, and they know exactly what they got. They know they can listen to what you need and get you put in the right car at a great price. I know this because I've been there and I've done this before I had any kind of a business relationship with them when I was just some goober with colored hair. But you might argue I still am right now. Check them out on the website at lynchtoyotaofauburn.com. They keep their inventory there on the top and top. What I mean is every minute a car is sold or a car is brought in, they add it to their inventory on the internet, and you'll never have any surprises when you show up there. Also, big shout out, huge shout out to our subscribers at auburnsports.com. We could not do what we do without your support. I say this every day. You guys get bored with it. You're like, hey, Jay, you're always telling me that. It's because we appreciate you. We couldn't do it without you. This show right now, couldn't do it. Anything else we're doing, couldn't do it. So thank you very much for your support of that. If you're not a subscriber to auburnsports.com, you need to be. Now's a great time to be a new subscriber because we got a deal going where you get a 25% discount on a new annual subscription, and you get a $75 voucher for use on Adidas apparel. You can do that at adidas.com or at an outlet store. At an Adidas outlet store. I've never seen one myself, but I'm told they do exist. Check that out. We've got something on the front page that'll give you all the deets on that deal if you want to be a new annual subscriber. How about that, B-Matt?
I'm still mad about the logo. I'm looking at pictures now. So
why are you so flustered about that? My God.
Well, it looks like they're messing with the orange too. Auburn's colors are burnt orange, not glow orange.
Well, I think it's just a thicker border. Makes the orange seem.
I don't trust anybody. I just don't. That's
terrible.
I need to throw some stuff around the house.
All right, guys.
Or around Sanford Hall.
We're gonna wrap it up there, and we're gonna let Brian go off on his own and calm down. So yeah, y'all be good out there. If you guys are at work, hey, outwork those Georgia fans in your office. Outwork that dumbass Kentucky fan in your office. You're better than them because you're an Auburn person. That's how I feel about it, and I think Brian feels the same way because he's attacking his job with that same zeal. Till we see you next time, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
Oh, yeah. You're going to explain a little more depth how you having a convulsion, the girls like. I quite understand that. Or are you making them have one with your cross eyes? I don't quite.
Your internet is just about to go out. I think we finished the show like right on time. Because literally you started jittering the last 30 seconds of the show.
That sucks.
But it did not affect the podcast. I think it just affected the video. So those of you who are watching on YouTube, I'm sorry. It's Brian's fault.
It was probably me getting so upset about the logo that it made the internet start to get shaky. Yeah,
some people just don't understand like the cross eyes.
Oh my God. The whole screen just went woo. Yeah, I think it may be happening to me right now.
That's why I wear the glasses, because then my eyes aren't crossed. I don't know, man. I had some surgeries when I was younger because my eyes were messed up, and my dad was in the Navy at the time, so I had naval surgeons, and well, guess they didn't get it quite right. JG. They did the best they could do, and I appreciate their effort.
But you cause women to go into convulsions, and they like it though. What kind of convulsions are we talking about?
It's a convulsion of happiness, and it's one that they're happy with. It's not a scary one. It's not a grand mal. I don't really know what the other word would be for it, but yeah.
Well, I hope you look Courtney right in the eyes tonight, and she has a good experience with it.
So I wasn't going to say this on the show, but the reason that Courtney was texting me is that one of my daughter's friends unfortunately died by suicide last night.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I'm really kind of weirded out, but I was trying to finish the show without getting weird. I mean, it's not like one of her best friends, but so she wanted to talk about that, and I totally understand.
Are we still on video?
Yeah. I just wasn't going to put it on the podcast, but
right.
Anyway, I don't know. That's like I think it's the second kid that I've known in Montgomery to do that in the last 2 years. It really is an epidemic.
It's terrible.
Yes. So anyway, I wasn't trying to bring it down. I was just trying to tell you what was on my mind during that show. Yikes. All right. Well, I guess I'll get on the horn, see what I can do. How much I can do, just listen, I guess. And what else we got going today?
Commitment,
possibly. That's right. I forgot to talk about Tank Bixby.
Yeah. Well, you know, my sources say Tank loves the old logo, and would probably go to Georgia if they change the logo. So I'm just putting that out there right now.
So you're saying Kirby is behind this logo change just so he can pull him back later?
It could be.
All right. Good stuff, bro. All right, we'll wrap it up there. For those of you who are watching on the internet, appreciate you being part of what we're doing here. There goes your internet again, and we're gonna wrap it up right there. So you guys be good. Peace.